In this video, you will learn all about the Community Development Log, otherwise known as the CDL. The Community Development Log, or CDL, is not to be confused with the CDM, or the RCR, or the IR, or the... Wait, what were we talking about? Yeah, the CDL. This very important document is a short weekly or bi-monthly report that helps you and your AC track progress and issues in your community. It is used during your one-on-one meetings to guide your conversation and provide a record of issues, concerns, development, and achievements, both yours and your residents. It is especially helpful in tracking your progress towards the CDM. Resident interactions and programs are tracked through the log so they can be referenced in the future for programming ideas and different ways to get to know your residents. So, let's get started. You can find the CDL by logging onto Blackboard and accessing the Resident Advisor module. Once you are in the Resident Advisor module, you'll go to Forms and Documents, and there you will find the link to the document. Let's take a look at what the actual CDL looks like. On the top of page 1, you will put your name, which building and floor or houses you are assigned, and the date. The next section is entitled Community Progress/Development. This is where you'll talk about what is going on in your area. Are there roommate or floormate issues? What has the atmosphere been like? How have your interactions been? What kinds of things, both good and bad, have you been seeing in your area? Next is the ongoing Community Strengths and Needs Assessment section. Remember when we talked about assessing your community with your AC? Well, this is how we keep that conversation going throughout the year. You'll discuss what your area needs based on the time of year and the development of your residents. Below that is the Resident Interactions section. This section is very important because it's how ACs keep up to date with the large number of residents in their area. We want to know about the serious issues, but we also like to hear about anything, big or small, that is happening with your residents. If the AC is asked about a particular resident, they can look at the CDLs and give a quick update on anything the RA has shared about that person. For instance, if you had a conversation with a resident who is concerned with another student, the AC would use the CDL as a record of when the concerns were first brought to your attention. Next up is the Physical Environment/Facilities section. In this area, you will talk about anything you've noticed regarding the actual building. Has there been vandalism? How's the investigation going? Have you had issues with personal trash in the bathroom? Write it here. Maybe you've noticed something broken or damaged. This is where you'll note that you've put in a work order. After that, you'll find the Community Development area. In this section, you'll discuss how you've been fulfilling the objectives from the CDM. For instance, if you had an academic conversation with a group of your first-year students about registration, you would put the date of the conversation under when, explain the conversation under how, and write down who was there under the who section. If you went to a pet therapy program in the library with people from your houses, you would write that information down in the wellness area of this section. So, this section is for conversations, both formal and informal, and for program tracking. As you can see, the next section is called Upcoming Programming Ideas. This is where you share all of your awesome ideas with your AC, like the bulletin board you're planning to put up next week, or the murder mystery dinner you're planning for next month. Below this is a section for learning outcomes. In case you aren't familiar, learning outcomes are those things which we expect our residents to do after an activity, event, reading a bulletin board, etc. We will talk more about these later, but note that this is where you will put the learning outcomes for all of your programming efforts. After the learning outcomes is a small section entitled Integrated Learning Program Proposal Form. This form needs to be filled out when you plan and put on an event, either individually or as part of a group which fulfills one of the enrichment objectives. This form doesn't need to be filled out for bulletin boards, other passive programs, or community objectives. In addition, it doesn't need to be filled out if you are attending a program sponsored by another group or department on campus. Here's a little pop quiz to make sure you've got it. Ready? Let's go. Cab Comedian, Open Door Contest, How to Change a Tire tutorial with facilities, Bulletin Board on Sexual Assault Awareness, Visit to Red Rock with hiking and healthy snacks. Good work! You'll learn more about this at training. Alright, we're almost done filling out the CDL. The section on personal reflections is a chance for you to discuss how you're doing both personally and professionally. The RA position isn't only about developing our community, it's about developing you. We want you to leave the RA role with experiences that will help you in your first job and beyond. Part of that is discussing the good, the bad, and the ugly of your experience as a student leader. At the end of the CDL is the additional notes and reflections section. This is where you'll let us know anything you didn't mention above. Are you going to be gone for a weekend next month? How did you do on that test you were studying for? We love to see this section filled up with anything you think we need to know or anything that will make us smile. Now that the CDL is filled out, what do you do with it? You'll send it to your AC and save a copy for yourself. Your AC will discuss when CDLs are due during building time at training. The most important thing to know about the CDL is that it should be done on time and be thorough. If your AC receives a CDL that looks like the only thing you've changed is the date, they'll probably send it back to you. They might also send it back if you're putting things like "everything is great" or "not applicable" under all of the sections. Thanks for watching another RA training video. As usual, don't forget to take the quiz and ask your area coordinator if you have any questions.